Hello everyone. I'm happy to report that we are rounding the corner of COVID-19, and starting tomorrow, Montgomery County will be aligned with state health regulations, and capacity limits for businesses will be lifted. We are almost back to normal, but it's still too early for the mission accomplished routine. Our COVID-19 positivity rates and case rates are declining, and this is the direct result of people getting vaccinated. More than 55.5% of our residents have received both doses of Pfizer and Moderna, or a single dose of Johnson & Johnson, according to the CDC. And more than 60% of our residents have now received at least their single dose. It's simple. The more people who get vaccinated, the lower our COVID case rate and fewer risks of spikes and surges. When our case rates go down, that means that we can open back up, get people back to work, and move forward. And we've all been waiting for that. This is great news for everyone. But as I mentioned last week, there's still confusion, and we're seeing this all around our community and the country regarding face coverings. Even after tomorrow, the state will still require face coverings on public transportation and inside schools, healthcare settings, youth camps, and childcare facilities. And the county fully agrees with this. In addition, the county is requiring all persons wear face coverings inside of county-owned buildings and operated facilities. Additionally, the State Health Department is encouraging all individuals who are older than 2 and who have not been fully vaccinated to wear face coverings in all public indoor settings and outdoor where physical distancing is not possible. And this is critical. Businesses, other establishments, and workplaces can require face coverings. Arguments over masking can get heated quite quickly. We need to make sure that everyone knows the facts and guidance around masking. But at the end of the day, the decision as to whether people wear masks in businesses, offices, or wherever is the decision of the owner of that business. I also want to thank all our employees throughout so many of our departments who've been working so hard to get us to this point. Last weekend, I was out with our community outreach team at H Mart, and they were escorting people across a parking lot to the FEMA Mass Vac site at Lake Forest Mall. We still have thousands of our residents who are not vaccinated, and we remain committed to finding them and encouraging them to get vaccinated. I encourage all Montgomery County residents, if you're not vaccinated already, try to get vaccinated this holiday weekend. Our success over the last year or so is the result of some tremendous work by this government, including guidance from our public health officer, Dr. Gales, and our health department, and with the cooperation of the people of our county. Without you following the guidance that we have laid out, we would not be where we are today. This week, unfortunately, also marked the first anniversary of the murder of George Floyd. This murder sparked a social justice movement of a scope that has not been seen since the civil rights era of the 60s, and it is long overdue. To be clear, George Floyd was not the first black man wrongfully killed at the hands of the police, nor has he been the last, as we have just witnessed over the past few weeks, as more incidents between police and unarmed victims come to light. Even here in Montgomery County, Dominic Williams and James Lionel Johnson of District Heights, Maryland, were killed by an off-duty federal officer in Tacoma Park last month. But the problem is far deeper than these killings, and we know it. If the killings stop tomorrow, the instruments that consign people to poverty, that bar access to what we like to call the American dream, will still be in place. Dismantling racism will not be possible without addressing poverty, discrimination, structural impediments, and frankly, becoming capable of talking about America's racist history and the long-term consequences that it has had on our society. In talking about this, I also want to take note that next week, on May 31st and June 1st, it is the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa Race Massacre in Greenwood, Oklahoma, in which an entire black community was burned. The report of the Race Riot Commission concluded that between 100 and 300 people were killed and more than 8,000 people made homeless in just over 18 hours in 1921. Just another bit of our history that far too many people do not know. We have been working on reimagining police since I was elected. We have had a citizen working group and a team of consultants work to discuss what works, what doesn't work, and most importantly, what we need to do to change. That work will soon be completed, and we will begin the process of implementing revised police policies. Part of this will reflect the reality that police should not be saddled with every social problem we have. Many of the issues that we have given the police to handle are the proper purview of social service agencies, and we will also begin to realign services accordingly. Today, the Montgomery County Council voted to pass the fiscal year 2022 operating and capital budgets. Recovering from the pandemic, moving forward on our efforts toward reimagining public safety, providing more mental health supports and services for our residents, addressing the climate change imperative, and budgeting through an equity lens are the key takeaways from this year's budget process. I want to thank the Council for their thoughtful review, analysis, and questions regarding my budget proposals. To have the executive and legislative branch agree on 99.85% of the total budget is a big win for our county residents. Over the last 3 budget cycles, Montgomery County has had to overcome deficits, responded to the pandemic, and now recover from the devastating pandemic that took the lives of almost 1,500 Montgomery County residents. To accelerate that recovery for all county residents, I'm proud that my administration has provided a balanced budget that fully funds education, expands transit, fights climate change, and keeps our residents and neighborhoods safe. And together with the County Council, we've increased transportation funding in ways that will spur economic development, address racial equity considerations, and improve the environment. And we've done all that while providing a response to COVID-19 that respects the science and protects our residents. And we've been able to do that all thanks to the enormous support from our congressional delegation and our state delegation. This Memorial Day is the first holiday since the vast increase in vaccinations. I hope that everyone has a safe weekend and uses common sense as they enjoy their weekend activities. As it is Memorial Day, I do encourage everyone to take a moment to appreciate the sacrifice of the millions of men and women who have sacrificed their lives for this country. Let's remember and pay tribute to all of them this Memorial Day weekend. Thank you.